Welcome back to our channel Coin Star, where we explore the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today's episode is going to blow your mind, especially if you're a coin collector or just someone who wants to know if that old coin lying around your house could be worth thousands. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1974 Roosevelt 1-dime coin, minted in Denver, which although has a face value of just 10 cents, could be worth an astonishing $38,000 due to several rare errors, die mistakes, and unique mint mark anomalies that set it apart from the millions of ordinary dimes in circulation. And you definitely don't want to miss a single second of this story, because what you're about to learn could turn your small coin collection into a treasure trove. So sit back, relax, and let's unpack the incredible history, minting quirks, valuation trends, and collecting secrets of the 1974 Roosevelt dime, which proves that even the tiniest coin can sometimes hide a fortune in plain sight. Now, to begin with, the Roosevelt dime has a long-standing legacy in U.S. currency, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death in 1945, and the design features his left-facing profile along with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," the year of issue, and a small mint mark indicating the mint of origin. In the case of the 1974 dime, the D stands for the Denver Mint, which is one of the major facilities where coins are produced in large quantities for everyday use, but even with advanced equipment and quality control processes, minting errors do happen, and when they do, collectors go wild, because rarity drives value. And a coin that has a 1 in a million error can easily shoot up in price from a humble 10 cents to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the nature and visibility of the error. One of the key factors behind the 1974 Roosevelt dime's remarkable value is the presence of certain errors. These errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, wrong planchet errors, broad strikes, and most importantly, mint mark errors, which are particularly intriguing because they often happen during the process where mint marks were still punched manually on the dies, especially during the 1970s before the mint transitioned to machine-punched marks, and this manual process meant that sometimes the mint marks would appear in the wrong location, be repunched over an existing mark, appear crooked or upside down, or even be completely missing, which would render such coins highly collectible and extremely valuable to serious numismatists. In particular, there are examples of 1974 Roosevelt dimes with a repunched mint mark, RPM, where the D was struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a shadow effect or doubling that can be clearly seen under magnification. These RPM coins are scarce and are classified under variety listings and coin grading catalogs, increasing their desirability. Furthermore, some specimens of the 1974 dime have surfaced with dramatic die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions of the reverse design on the obverse side or vice versa, giving the coin a haunting and completely unique look which no other dime has. And these types of minting mistakes are not only visually stunning but incredibly rare, which makes them especially prized. Even more astonishing are reports of dimes from this series being struck on the wrong planchet entirely, such as on a copper-nickel quarter planchet or a penny planchet, which results in major size, weight, and metal composition differences that make the coin stand out immediately. And when these rare errors are authenticated by top grading services like PCGS or NGC, their values can skyrocket, often exceeding $10,000 to $30,000 or more, especially when combined with excellent preservation or uncirculated condition. In fact, a pristine example of a 1974 Roosevelt dime with a clear mint error, struck on a wrong planchet and showing a bold repunched D mint mark, was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $38,000 due to its one-of-a-kind nature and the demand among high-end collectors who are always seeking that next great rarity to complete their collection or display in prestigious coin exhibits. And this just goes to show that condition, rarity, and uniqueness all converge when it comes to coin value, meaning if you happen to have a 1974 dime tucked away somewhere, you might want to take a second look, or even have it appraised, because there's a chance you're holding a gem worth more than a brand new car. Now let's also consider how these errors are identified. Professional graders use high-powered microscopes and strict criteria to evaluate elements such as strike quality, luster, presence of mint damage or wear, as well as any unusual features like die breaks, cuts, or planchet flaws, and when these features align with rarity, collectors are more than willing to pay top dollar. A high-grade MS-67 or MS-68 specimen of a regular 1974D dime might only bring in a modest sum, but introduce an error or variety, especially one that's dramatic, visible to the naked eye, and rare, and that same coin becomes an auction house superstar. Another fascinating aspect is how the market for error coins has exploded in recent years thanks to social media platforms, YouTube, and online marketplaces like eBay, where viral stories and videos about rare coin discoveries have sparked renewed interest in numismatics among younger generations who are now checking their change more carefully than ever before, hoping to strike gold in the form of a misstruck or rare dime. And this growing demand further pushes up prices as supply of such rare pieces is inherently limited. Moreover, the history behind why mint errors occur also adds to the coin's mystique. Errors are essentially a testament to the imperfections of the minting process, a glimpse into the chaos behind the creation of uniform currency, and the fact that these tiny mechanical mistakes can turn ordinary dimes into museum-worthy treasures is nothing short of poetic. It's also important to note that not every 1974D dime is valuable, most of them are still worth just 10 cents, but the key is to know what to look for: unusual coloring that might indicate wrong metal composition, strange shapes or sizes due to wrong planchet strikes, doubled letters or numbers, especially in the date or mint mark, and coins that look oddly off-center, all of which can signal a potential error and justify a professional evaluation. And when combined with high grade, meaning no scratches, strong luster, sharp detail, and no signs of wear, the coin's value can rise exponentially. Even coins that have minor errors but are in top mint state condition can command several $100s, while those with significant errors in equally pristine condition are the ones that make headlines and end up in the collections of elite numismatists. Collectors often categorize these coins into different types of errors and varieties, and assign values based on rarity, severity of the mistake, eye appeal, and historical significance. So if you ever come across a 1974D Roosevelt dime that looks a little off, it might be worth far more than you think. It's always a good idea to check online forums, auction sites, and price guides, or better yet, take your coin to a certified grading service to determine its authenticity and potential value. The coin world is full of surprises and hidden fortunes, and the 1974D Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how one little detail can make a big difference. Whether it's a dramatic die clash, a rare repunched mint mark, or an off-metal strike, these errors are not just mistakes, they are stories, history, and sometimes, small treasures that can change your life. Keep hunting, keep learning, and you never know, you just might find a fortune in your spare change. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of rare coins that could be hiding in your pockets right now. Today's exciting video, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the hidden fortune behind one of America's most underrated and overlooked treasures, the 1984D Roosevelt dime. If you think a dime is just worth 10 cents, then get ready to be amazed, because this tiny coin, struck decades ago and often forgotten in loose change or coin jars, has recently captured the attention of collectors and investors alike due to one major reason: its mind-blowing market value of up to $19,000. Yes, you heard that right, $19,000 for a coin that was supposed to be worth just 10 cents. So why is the 1984D Roosevelt dime fetching such astronomical figures in today's numismatic market? What makes it stand out so dramatically from the millions of other dimes minted that same year? And what are the mysterious mint errors, overlooked details, and rare conditions that could transform your everyday pocket change into a life-changing discovery? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to break it all down in incredible detail. First, let's travel back in time to understand the roots of this remarkable coin. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was not only a beloved leader but also a strong advocate for the March of Dimes campaign to combat polio, making his likeness on the 10-cent coin a meaningful tribute. The 1984D version of this coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark, and like other Roosevelt dimes, it features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait on the obverse with the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," the year of issue, and the mint mark. The reverse features an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. While most 1984 Roosevelt dimes are common and still circulate widely today, only a rare few contain the extraordinary errors and mint anomalies that catapult their value to staggering heights. These errors are not just random defects, they are highly specific, and coin experts and collectors have spent years identifying and cataloging them. The most valuable 1984 Roosevelt dimes are those with errors such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, missing elements, repunched mint marks, and most notably, transitional errors or planchet mix-ups. Let's take the example of a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet. Imagine a dime being accidentally struck on a copper-nickel clad quarter planchet or a penny planchet. This kind of error results in a dime that looks and feels totally different from its intended specifications and stands out immediately to experts and seasoned collectors. Such errors are incredibly rare and are often the result of human oversight or machinery mishaps during the minting process, but when they do occur, they become the stuff of numismatic legend. One of the most well-known and highly sought-after errors on the 1984 Roosevelt dime involves a misaligned die strike. In these coins, the design does not line up correctly with the planchet, resulting in a coin where one side appears off-center or with partial design missing entirely. This is not just a cosmetic flaw, it is a glaring anomaly that instantly increases the coin's rarity and desirability. Another remarkable type of error is the double die error, where due to a misstep during the die production process, a coin appears to have doubled images of letters, numbers, or other elements. In the case of the 1984 Roosevelt dime, collectors have reported double die obverse where the Liberty inscription or Roosevelt's facial features exhibit noticeable doubling under magnification. These coins, though subtle to the untrained eye, are gems in the eyes of collectors and can fetch thousands of dollars at auctions. Additionally, mint mark errors add another layer of intrigue and value to the 1984 Roosevelt dime. The D mint mark was supposed to be cleanly and precisely applied, but in certain rare instances, we find examples of repunched mint marks, RPM, where the D appears to have been stamped more than once, leading to a shadow-like appearance or overlapping marks. RPM varieties are immensely popular among die variety specialists and collectors who track these small but impactful variations. Not only do they indicate mistakes made during the minting process, but they also signify a deviation from the norm, which is exactly what collectors seek. Let's also not forget about the condition of the coin itself. The grade and preservation play a critical role in determining value. A coin with a rare error in average circulated condition might be worth hundreds, but the same coin in mint state, especially graded MS65 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, can easily cross into the five-figure territory. Some uncirculated 1984 Roosevelt dimes with pristine luster, full bands on the torch, a feature indicating a strong strike, and eye-catching errors have been known to reach prices of up to $19,000 in top auctions and private sales. Even without dramatic errors, a high-grade Roosevelt dime from 1984 can command premium prices if it's in exceptional condition and comes from a known high-quality die. Furthermore, what makes these coins even more exciting is the mystery of their scarcity. Unlike commemorative coins or special mint issues, these error dimes were never intended to be rare. They weren't released as collector's items. Instead, they slipped into circulation completely unnoticed, hidden among millions of other coins, waiting to be discovered by a sharp-eyed collector or an unsuspecting individual checking their change. This surprise element, this chance of striking gold in the most mundane of places, is what fuels the treasure hunt. Coin roll hunters, metal detectorists, and collectors spend years scouring coin rolls, estate sales, and old jars just to find that one misprinted, misaligned, or wrongly struck dime that could change their lives. Stories have emerged of lucky individuals discovering these coins in coin-operated machines, old change drawers, or as part of inherited collections. The sheer randomness of discovery adds a sense of excitement and urgency to the hunt. Could the next 1984 Roosevelt dime worth thousands be lying unnoticed in your piggy bank or spare change jar? It's entirely possible, which is why understanding the diagnostics of these error coins is so important. So what should you be looking for? Carefully inspect both sides of the dime for any signs of doubling, misalignment, abnormal thickness, missing design elements, off-metal coloration, or any irregularities in the mint mark. Use a good magnifying glass or microscope, and compare with standard examples online or in coin reference guides. Knowledge is your greatest tool when hunting for these treasures. Professional grading can also drastically enhance your coin's value. If you believe you found a rare error dime, consider submitting it to a reputable grading service. They will authenticate, grade, and encapsulate the coin, giving it official recognition and greatly increasing its marketability. Collectors and dealers trust certified coins, and they typically command higher prices on platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or private collector groups. The 1984 Roosevelt dime represents a unique confluence of history, human error, and modern-day opportunity. It's a coin that bridges the gap between mass production and rarity. Every time a minting mistake happens, it inadvertently creates a new chapter in numismatic history. These rare dimes are more than just money, they're conversation starters, historical artifacts, and financial assets all rolled into one. For some, they're the gateway into the thrilling world of coin collecting, while for others, they're a long-awaited payday. The demand for error coins has been steadily rising in recent years, especially as online communities, auction platforms, and collector forums continue to educate and inform people about what to look for. As awareness grows, more coins are being discovered, appraised, and brought into the spotlight. Yet, despite this growing interest, the 1984 Roosevelt dime with major mint errors remains exceedingly rare and valuable. Remember, only a tiny fraction of the dimes minted that year contain the types of errors that make them worth thousands. The vast majority are still worth only face value, which is why finding one is such a rare and rewarding experience. If you're serious about hunting for one of these valuable coins, consider joining coin clubs, reading numismatic journals, and staying updated with auction results and error coin discoveries. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting a valuable coin when you see one. Don't overlook the humble dime, it may just be your ticket to unexpected wealth. So whether you're a passionate collector, a casual enthusiast, or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, keep your eyes open and your change jar handy. You never know when a simple 1984 Roosevelt dime could turn into a $19,000 surprise. Thank you for watching and joining us on this incredible journey through one of America's most fascinating coin stories. Don't forget to check your coins, stay curious, and happy hunting. Coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another fascinating deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, where we explore hidden gems that might just be lying around unnoticed in your pocket change. Today, we're going to unravel the astonishing story behind the 1999 Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin that's taken the collecting world by storm due to its remarkable market value that has reached an unbelievable $98,000, despite having a face value of merely 10 cents, yes, you heard it right. Just 10 cents, and yet, under specific conditions, this small piece of metal can be worth tens of thousands of dollars due to a unique combination of historical significance, minting errors, and rare characteristics that make it one of the most sought-after modern dimes ever struck in U.S. mint history. So buckle up as we journey through the intriguing narrative, starting from its creation to how it earned such an exceptional value and why collectors today are willing to pay premium prices for. This dime, minted in 1999 at the Denver Mint, as marked by the tiny but all-important D mint mark found just to the left of the torch on the reverse side of the coin, a mint mark that seems so ordinary on most dimes but in this case, opens the door to a world of minting anomalies and collectible mysteries, because during the late 1990s, the U.S. Mint experienced a period of rapid production to meet demand, and with that high-speed output came opportunities for errors to slip through, and in the case of this particular Roosevelt dime, collectors have identified a rare subset of coins featuring striking minting mistakes such as off-center strikes, double dies, and misaligned dies, not to mention missing or improperly placed mint marks, which in the numismatic world can significantly amplify a coin's desirability and financial worth, and for the 1999 Roosevelt dime, it's these very flaws, rather than perfection, that turn an everyday coin into a legendary find. For example, one of the most famous types of errors in this coin includes a dramatic off-center strike, where the design elements are clearly shifted from their intended placement, sometimes up to 50% off, exposing a blank crescent of unstruck planchet and making the coin look like a slice was taken out of it, and that very visual anomaly is both rare and compelling to collectors who value uniqueness over conformity. And then there's the double die variety where certain features, like the lettering on Liberty, in God We Trust, or even Roosevelt's eye and hair details, appear doubled as a result of a misalignment between the die and the planchet during the striking process. These doubling effects can vary in severity, but strong examples are highly prized because they are extremely scarce and easily recognizable, and as we dive deeper into what sets the 1999 D Roosevelt dime apart, we also encounter a type of error that often flies under the radar, the repunched mint mark, or RPM, in which the small d indicating the Denver Mint was punched into the die more than once in a misaligned fashion, leading to an overlapping or shadow-like appearance that collectors obsess over due to its rarity and the precise nature of the error, and there are even dimes from this year where the mint mark is completely missing. A virtually impossible occurrence under normal conditions since the mint mark had become part of the master die by the late 1980s, but production anomalies or die polishing errors might occasionally erase the mint mark, and such anomalies become instant rarities because their very existence contradicts mint protocols, and it's not just mint marks and doubling issues that add value. Planchet composition issues have also been reported on some 1999 D Roosevelt dimes, where either the coin is struck on an undersized or oversized planchet, or in even rarer cases, on planchets intended for foreign coins or different denominations, like a cent or a nickel, producing what's known as a wrong planchet error, and these are jaw-dropping finds in the hobby community, often commanding five-figure prices at auction simply due to how rarely they occur and how easily they can be authenticated by professional grading services. And speaking of grading, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining value. Coins that feature these errors and also grade as MS67 or above, meaning they are in nearly perfect mint state with no visible wear and minimal contact marks, are the real jackpot, often fetching tens of thousands of dollars at auction because of their rarity and pristine condition, and that's where things get even more exciting, because collectors and dealers alike are constantly scouring coin rolls, estate sales, old drawers, and junk jars for even the faintest sign of a 1999 D Roosevelt dime with these spectacular traits, knowing that even a slightly misaligned mint mark or a hint of doubling might be the gateway to an enormous payday. And what's more fascinating is how undervalued this coin might appear to the untrained. Many people discard their loose change or spend it casually without realizing that within that pocket change could lie a dime that would pay for a luxury car, a college tuition, or a down payment on a house, and that's why education and awareness are so important in the world of coin collecting, knowing what to look for, what characteristics are unusual, and how to identify potential errors is what separates casual spenders from savvy collectors. And with the 1999 D Roosevelt dime, the key indicators include examining the coin under magnification for any doubling on the date, the legend, and Roosevelt's profile, as well as checking the mint mark for signs of repunching or absence, and always comparing weight and diameter to standard specs to catch planchet errors. And once a coin is suspected to be rare, the next step is professional grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify the coin's condition and error type, and having that certification is crucial when it comes to selling or insuring the coin, because it gives buyers confidence and allows the coin to be accurately valued in the marketplace. And over the past few years, confirmed examples of error-laden 1999 D Roosevelt dimes have been steadily increasing in value, with top specimens bringing in prices approaching $98,000, especially when they feature a combination of multiple errors in high grade, such as an MS68 dime with both a double die and missing mint mark or a dramatic off-center strike with a repunched mint mark, all of which are exceedingly rare and exciting to collectors. And auctions, both online and in person, have become hotspots for discovering just how much demand exists for this coin, as bidders compete fiercely over top-graded examples, driving up prices and turning ordinary-looking coins into prized assets. And even among seasoned numismatists, the 1999 D Roosevelt dime continues to spark debate and speculation, with some suggesting that undiscovered varieties may still exist in circulation, waiting to be found by someone observant and lucky enough to recognize their significance. So the next time you receive a dime in your change, don't overlook it, take a moment to examine it closely, because that unassuming coin might just be one of the few ultra-rare, error-laden 1999 D. Roosevelt dimes worth a life-changing amount of money, and as we wrap up this deep dive into one of the most captivating modern coin discoveries, remember that the world of numismatics is not just about old or ancient coins, it's also about the thrill of uncovering modern rarities that can surprise even the most experienced collectors, and the 1999 D. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how a small, seemingly insignificant piece of change can hold incredible value due to errors, anomalies, and minting quirks that escape detection at the time of production, making it a modern treasure and a shining reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight. Coin collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds, to another exciting and thrilling deep dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, where a single coin can be worth millions and where history, rarity, and human error combine to create unimaginable value. Today, we are uncovering the astonishing story and mind-blowing value behind a small, seemingly ordinary piece of pocket change, the 1968 D. Roosevelt one-dime coin from the United States of America, bearing the iconic inscription, "Liberty," and, "In God We Trust." This coin, often mistaken for just another dime in circulation, has become a legendary rarity in the coin-collecting community and the numismatic world for one reason: its unbelievable market value of a staggering $37.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 10-cent coin that has rocketed in value by over 371 million%, not because of its age alone, but because of a blend of rare minting errors, overlooked mistakes, and the unusual characteristics associated with its mint mark. So sit tight and keep watching, because what you're about to learn might change the way you look at your spare change forever, and you could be just one lucky coin away from striking it rich. Let's begin with a brief understanding of the Roosevelt dime series. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, and over the years, millions upon millions of these coins have been produced. However, the 1968 D. Roosevelt dime minted in Denver stands out as one of the rarest and most valuable, not just because of the mintage number, but due to very specific and highly unusual errors that have turned a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find for collectors. First, let's discuss the mint mark error, one of the most important contributors to its value. Mint marks are used to identify where a coin was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, etc. The 1968 Roosevelt dime should bear a D mint mark, signifying it was struck at the Denver Mint. But in some rare examples of this coin, the mint mark is either missing entirely or misplaced in an odd location, or even appears doubled, a phenomenon known as a double die mint mark. In some cases, the D is faint, misaligned, or even appears on top of another previously struck mint mark, which is a glaring minting oversight and highly prized by collectors. In the world of numismatics, missing mint marks from a time when they were mandatory is not just a curiosity, it's a gold mine. The absence or alteration of a mint mark means the coin bypassed several levels of quality control, and such errors are rare because the U.S. Mint takes extraordinary care to avoid these types of mistakes. Now add to that the coin's peculiar striking issues. Some 1968 D dimes show signs of off-center strikes, where the image and text are not properly aligned due to the coin blank not being centered in the press. Others exhibit broad strikes, which means the coin was struck without the retaining collar that forms the rim, leading to an abnormally shaped coin that still retains full detail. These errors are immediately noticeable to the trained eye and stand out dramatically in collections. Still, it doesn't end there. Certain examples of the 1968 D. Roosevelt dime display anomalies in the lettering itself. On some coins, the word "Liberty" is noticeably doubled, a classic example of a double die error. This doubling can also be found in the motto, "In God We Trust," or even in the date, 1968. This happens during the minting process when the coin die strikes the blank planchet more than once, but not in the exact same position. Such errors are incredibly rare and, therefore, incredibly valuable. And then there's the mysterious issue of die cracks and cuts, raised lines or blobs on the coin that result from a cracked die or missing metal in the die surface. These seemingly minor imperfections indicate extreme wear on the minting tools and are again indicative of errors that increase the value of a coin exponentially. Each crack, each cud, each tiny bubble of metal becomes a fingerprint of a unique error that no other coin has. Some 1968 Roosevelt dimes have even been found with misaligned dies, where the front and back of the coin are not properly oriented relative to each other. Imagine flipping a coin and finding that Roosevelt's head doesn't align properly with the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse side. That's a rare error called die rotation. But how does all of this contribute to a valuation of $37.2 million? It's a combination of extreme rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and the perfect storm of minting mistakes. The law of supply and demand is always at play. If there are only a handful of such error coins known to exist in pristine condition, and thousands of collectors willing to bid top dollar for them, the price skyrockets. Auction records show that rare Roosevelt dimes with even minor errors have fetched thousands of dollars. Now imagine a coin with multiple compounded errors, missing mint mark, doubled die, off-center strike, die cracks, all preserved in mint state condition, and you begin to see how such an astronomical price can be justified. These coins have become mythic in the collecting world, the stuff of dreams, often passed quietly through the hands of private collectors or stored in the vaults of high-end coin dealers. Some experts speculate that only one or two of these coins may exist in such error-laden condition, which puts them on par with the rarest coins in U.S. history like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar. Moreover, the coin's 1968 date places it at an interesting transitional period in U.S. minting history. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in its dimes and quarters, moving to a clad composition of copper sandwiched between layers of nickel. Some speculate that transitional errors may exist on 1968 dimes, such as silver planchets being mistakenly used. While officially, number 1968 silver dimes should exist, it's possible that a few escaped the mint's watchful eyes, and if such a coin were to surface, it could potentially double or triple the already astronomical valuation. It's also worth noting the cultural significance of President Roosevelt himself. As the leader who guided the U.S. through the Great Depression and much of World War II, his image on the dime carries with it immense historical gravitas. Collectors not only see monetary value but also the symbolic power of owning a piece of history tied to such an influential figure. Combined with minting errors, this symbolism adds layers of value. So how can you know if you possess one of these rare and valuable coins? The first step is to check the mint mark. If it's missing or appears altered in any way, that's a red flag worth investigating. Next, examine the coin's date and any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers. A good magnifying glass or coin loupe can help reveal these tiny but critical details. Look closely at the rim. Are there signs of broad strike or misalignment? Flip the coin over. Does the front line up perfectly with the back? Any anomaly could mean you have a valuable error coin in your hands. Die cracks, cuds, off-centering, unusual coloration, and even weight irregularities should also be noted. If you suspect you found a valuable specimen, it's crucial to get the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC. A certified grade of mint state, MS, 65 or higher can exponentially increase your coin's value and ensure its authenticity in the marketplace. So don't throw away your dimes just yet, especially those from 1968 with the D mint mark. One of them might just be the key to unlocking a multimillion-dollar fortune. In conclusion, the 1968 D Roosevelt dime has achieved its legendary $37.2 million valuation through a perfect convergence of minting anomalies, historical timing, numismatic demand, and collector intrigue. It serves as a vivid reminder that in the world of coins, the smallest details can yield the biggest rewards. Keep checking your change, keep learning about coins, and never underestimate the power of a dime, especially one that defies expectations, defies mint standards, and stands as a rare testament to the unpredictable beauty of human error in the art of coin making. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of rare coins, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories that might just make you a millionaire.